in this video I want to talk just briefly about our experience the first time we visited the Mormon Cannery. We were there about 2 weeks ago and we really didn't know what to expect, but I'll tell you that our experience was really good. Some of the kindest, most thoughtful people I've ever met. We are not members of the LDS Church, but it can't be denied that whatever it is you think about their belief system, they're doing a good work for the community, and I would just as soon have a Mormon as a neighbor than anyone else. That's for sure. So what we did is we showed up. They have particular times you can go, so don't just show up without checking your schedule, but they do open a couple days a week to the general public, and then you have access to their products. And these are some of the things that we picked up from there. Most of the things that they're going to offer are long-term storage, a good portion of them, and that means 30 years. And you have the ability to get them in two types of packaging. These number 10 cans, which are pretty much about 1 gallon, or if you prefer, you could have Mylar bags. The only difference is in cost. I think the cans cost about 90 cents, where the Mylar bags are 30 cents. And there's a little bit of savings. Problem with the Mylar bags is that they are not rodent proof and a little bit more difficult to store just because they're not stackable. So, you know, apples and oranges on that. It could be up to your personal preference. So some of the things that they had for long-term storage, you can go to their site and download them, but we got wheat berries, which is just unground wheat. Dried apples, we got potatoes, we got several different things. And yeah, and they also have some food that's not as long-term storage that comes in the plastic bags. I don't know what the storage, 3 years? 3 years. 3 years on this stuff. Potato flakes and different things, but a good variety of things. And what I would really recommend you starting is, we're going to talk about a family of 4. If you go online and just do a Google search, you can get a printout that just type in LDS food storage, and you'll find several websites that have a basic layout for a 1-year supply of food, utilizing their canneries. And what you can do is, with a family of 4, that 1-year supply will basically break down to a 3-month supply for a family of 4. So that's a good place to start. And when we figured the cost of it, I think it was around between $600 and $700
for a family.
For a 1-year supply for one person. Is around $700, maybe $750, and that's really basic food, as we've talked about in the past. That's just strictly survival stuff. But what you can get there is, of course, the canned food, and then there was one other thing that we got that were these oxygenators, and I think these were, what was it, $10 for
10 cents a piece.
Yeah, there's 100 in here.
So it's 10
bucks. So these are great for when you start using the larger buckets. You can throw a couple of those in. It removes the oxygen, and they're going to store much better. So our experience there was really good, and I will be going back. And the cost-wise, we started running some numbers comparing it with Costco, and by the time you buy the bucket and go through all the hassle, even after all that, you're still better off. It's still cheaper going with the cannery and buying it in these 1-gallon cans. And I think that these are going to be a lot easier to deal with and to use. It's nice to grab one of these. It's only a gallon. Come up out of the basement, and in a family of 4, it's not going to take that long to go through one of these cans, versus continuing to crack into the big buckets. I don't know, maybe a good combination of both. If you do decide to go with the big buckets, one place that we found that offers these lids, you probably all heard of them. They're called, what are they, Omega lids? Omega lids, and we found these at a local place called Winco, and you also said maybe Cub?
Cub Foods, Food for Less. It's that kind of a place that has a lot of bulk. It's cash and carry, very basic type of grocery store.
And what's interesting about those is that you said the last time you were there you didn't see any of these things, but I think there's really an awareness in this country, the perils of our economy, and a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize, you know what, I need to take some precautions and see to it that my family is going to be able to eat in the case of economic collapse or natural disasters. And I see that these things that used to be fringe now are showing up at retailers because there is a demand for them. But the nice thing about these lids is you have the ability, you can quickly remove them. They have a nice big O-ring seal on. You snap this around the food grade bucket, and then you can quickly seal these, and you don't have to try to pry off that lid. And any of you guys that have tried to pry off a paint can lid understand how difficult that is for a man, let alone your wives and girlfriends, which is nearly impossible.
I think the other thing too is that we found these cheaper at Winco than we could find online. We also found that they had can lid openers when we went to Winco.
Yeah, they were cheaper. They were a little over $6 a piece, and you didn't have to pay any shipping. Because when we looked around online, these were, the cheapest places were over $7, and then there was additional shipping on top of that.
And that was for the 5-gallon size, and then the 2-gallon size was even $4.50, I believe, a piece.
Yeah, I think so. And so also here you can see, is this 2 or 2.5 gallon? Either one.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 gallon, which is really nice also. And then Winco had the food grade bucket, so you know it was really a good deal. I think that we were right around $10 for a 5-gallon lid and a food grade bucket for Winco. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's great because the shipping just eats you up buying these things online. So check around if you have grocery stores that do deal in bulk, and chances are that they're going to start carrying these, or at least can get them, and that's a good way to go with that. So these are just a few options and some of kind of our experience. There are a lot of resources on the Mormon websites, and they have some paperwork and some pamphlets if you go in there that will kind of assist you to what to buy, because it's difficult to know. There's so many websites out there and so many opinions. You know, it's really daunting just to get started. So this is a place you can kind of focus on, and a place you can go to and know that you're not likely going to find a better price. That's the thing that bothers me, is to go someplace and I wonder, am I going to be able to buy this cheaper somewhere else? I can go there and with confidence knowing that I'm going to be getting a fair price. Whatever it is that they're asking for it, they're not in it for profit. They're simply doing that as a service to the members of their church and to the community. Excuse me.
I think too, I was speaking to one of the women there, and she was telling me about the differences between using white rice versus brown rice, and oil will go rancid, so you don't want to store that. So they're also just a wealth of knowledge when you go there and if you start speaking to someone. Yeah,
and the Mormons have been doing this for a long time. And they have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge to offer, and they were very, very kind people. We had a great experience. I don't think there was. I think most of the people there made an effort to talk and communicate with Jack, and he left with a gift, and it was
little teddy bear.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were just beautiful people.
Yes. I think another great source is to talk to farmers. I spoke with a friend of mine who grew up on a farm, and they have essentially a 3-year pantry full of food, and that is just the norm. And our old neighbor also had tons of food in his pantry, and it wasn't for being prepared or having a homestead, but that's just the way it is when you grow up on a farm. So talking to local farmers is also a good source for things that will store for a long period of time.
Yeah, I mean, really, we're only one generation removed from people who were like-minded. When I look at, we can go to my grandparents' generation who were raised on self-sufficient farms in the Midwest, and they were the original preppers. You know, they were self-reliant people, and they had pantries, like you were saying, at least a year, and that was something I think that the woman of the household took pride in, is having a well-stocked pantry to be able to provide for her family, and that's really been lost. So I'm glad to see us getting back to that. It's the way it should be. We ultimately need to rely upon ourselves, upon our own communities and our families to look after our needs and to get off dependence upon local and federal governments, because they can't be counted on, and it's not the way this country was founded, and it's not the way that we should be living our lives. So I'm ranting. In closing, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I want to wish all of you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. We lost our grandmother last night, or yesterday, and we are going through that right now, and it has brought to the forefront the importance of family and the importance of relationships that are so easy to forget. So I want to urge you, if you have apologies to make, if you have been estranged from loved ones, to use this holiday season to, where everyone's heart is so soft, to approach them and to get right with those things, so you don't have any regrets if you were to lose a loved one. So I want to encourage you to take advantage of that. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Are you sure you won't stand?